What's going on, you guys? It's Cody. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're talking about a company that is on my radar now after having seen a major run up in their share price for their stock. And I'm really interested in this company. I'm really excited to see where it goes. You know that I'm a big player in the EV space. I love EV stocks, everything from the vehicles themselves. I drive a Tesla. I invest in Tesla. I invest in a lot of the Chinese makers. And I'm a big proponent in ChargePoint, which is merging with SBE. You've seen my other videos. You'll know that I've posted a lot about that. But the company that I want to talk about here today is QuantumScape. This is something I've got pulled up here on my computer. We're going to take a look at the stock. We're also going to take some of the preliminary information about why this is potentially a game-changing company and what they have to offer here in this EV space. So without further ado, let's just jump right into here and actually start taking a look at what we're talking about here on my computer. So you can see that they're trading under the ticker symbol QS. And last week, or I should say a couple weeks ago, right before Thanksgiving, they had a huge run up here going into the end of November, run up to about $46, and then a little bit of a sell off to $36, kind of stayed quiet, a little bit of run. And then today they just jumped up massively up to $75. So aftermarket, they're down just slightly. But I mean, look at this major jump from like $44 to $75. That's crazy. That's like almost, I don't know, it's got to be like 70-80% gain just right there. So absolutely massive gains. Their market cap is still relatively low for this company. So I think that there's a lot of further potential for this company, but I want to show you actually what they do and talk a little bit about why I think this could be game changing, especially for the EV space. This is something that is going to be a long-term play. Again, this technology that they've come out with and said, hey, we think this works, is not going to be going into effect for at least another 3 to 5 years. They think probably 5 to 7 years to be realistic is kind of what they're saying. Other manufacturers who are in the same space said, hey, we think this might be 7 to 10 years out. Them announcing that this is going to actually be something that could work potentially moves up that timeline, right? So there's a couple of really good things that I'm seeing here with this company that definitely wants to make me look into it further and see about doing a more substantial investment into this company. I'm not a shareholder at this time. I don't own any of their shares, and but it is something I'm looking into and want to know more about, and so I wanted to put on your radar and mine. It's just so we can all learn together. Hopefully we can all buy into this stock if we choose to do so, and hopefully we can all make a good profit on it as well. So let's take a look at what they actually do. So I want to look at this here again because the first thing that we're going to look at, I mean, is just an absolute banger. They're backed by Volkswagen. Volkswagen is one of the largest auto manufacturers in the entire world, and I think they've got a lot of cash to throw at this if they see it working. So even though these other traditional manufacturers of cars have been slow to catch on the EV train, I think as soon as we see that turnover, as soon as it starts becoming the mainstream, I think a lot of these traditional manufacturers are just going to throw money at this, and they basically got all the money they need to throw at it to be able to convert a lot of their existing infrastructure into the EV space. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't start now and get a head start on it, but unfortunately, they're just running a little bit behind. But I think once that time does come, they're going to be able to make that transition, fairly quickly. So having cash, having a name behind you is definitely going to give you a big leg up when this whole transition happens on a more mainstream level. So Volkswagen-backed startup QuantumScape on Tuesday revealed new data showing the capabilities of its solid-state battery tech. Several companies are working to develop solid-state batteries, which use a solid electrolyte instead of the liquid or gel used in current lithium-ion battery cells. Now, just real quick, guys, I'm not a battery expert. This is something I'm just learning about. I know the basics of how a battery works, but this is all new technology for me. So reading into this article here, I'm learning along with you guys. I'm going to continue learning on this. That's something we need to do. When you're looking into a company, you have to do your homework and you have to know what you're looking at here and at least understand the basics of the company if you're going to decide to invest in them. So QuantumScape claims to be ahead of competitors in developing solid-state cells that can handle the rigors of automotive use. In testing, large area single-layer pouch cells were able to charge to 80% capacity in 15 minutes. This is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, going from, I don't know if they're counting from 0, from 10% or whatever their minimum is, but getting up to 80% in that short amount of time is absolutely phenomenal. 15 minutes, I mean, this is basically how long it's going to take you to fill up for gas, right? So if they can be on a comparable level for that with these batteries, that's going to definitely get a lot of people over that range anxiety hump. And they also showed a retained capacity greater than 80% after 800 charging cycles, a lifespan unmatched by competitors, the company claims. Cells have also been tested to negative 30 degrees Celsius, a temperature too low for other solid-state chemistries to operate, the company said. With these lifespans and temperature barriers broken, QuantumScape executives now believe solid-state batteries can replace lithium-ion batteries in electric cars. Now, it says this, but keep in mind, this is still years out. Volkswagen themselves are saying they don't really expect this to actually go into effect until 2025. Hopefully it's a little bit sooner, but worst case, we're still like 4 to 5 years out on this. So coming down here, the other thing I want to mention, Volkswagen has been a longtime investor in QuantumScape with a business relationship going back to 2012. The automaker announced an additional investment of $200 million earlier this year. The other thing that's really exciting about this, QuantumScape, which counts former Tesla CTO and battery mastermind JB Straubel as a member of its board, announced plans to go public in September, which we obviously know. This startup's technology could be an important indicator on why VW has continued to claim it will use solid-state batteries in a limited form by 2025, while some other automakers claim it is many more years away. So this is really exciting news. They've got the former Tesla CTO and battery mastermind JB Straubel as a member of its board, which is huge in its own right. They're backed by Volkswagen, and I also forgot to mention they're backed by Bill Gates. So these are two people who believe, or I should say one person and one massive company that believe in this technology and believe what they have to offer. And they've got board members who are out there kind of giving them guidance, kind of helping them along the way, who, have a wealth of knowledge of how this actually works, right? Having somebody from Tesla, the #1 leading EV maker in the world, is absolutely phenomenal. And then also being backed by Volkswagen, you can bet that this is going to be a company that has a long growth trajectory and could actually succeed very well in the long run, right? If Volkswagen says, hey, this is actually working, and by 2025, we start seeing a lot of the new cars being made as EVs, this is gonna be massive, guys. Volkswagen's gonna say, hey, look, QuantumScape, we need all your batteries, we need everything you've got to put into our vehicles so we can start selling it, and it's just gonna be a very good relationship for the both of them, basically. Some of the things that they're expecting to struggle with is the ability to produce these at scale, right? Getting these batteries built at scale is obviously gonna be the hardest part of this whole process, and that's something that they say actually in these other articles. If we jump over to their website, you can see their team right here, and then their board members as well. So you got JB Straubel, who is the co-founder of Tesla, and then some other impressive people here as well. So, just looking at this, Jürgen Leohold, former head of Volkswagen Group Research, head of Volkswagen Battery Center of Excellence from Frank Blome. Just massive, people with a lot of money, a lot of wealth, a lot of knowledge and experience in this space here on the board of directors or on their team. It just gives, it definitely gives them a huge leg up when it comes to being successful in this market. So this is something that is on my radar. I think it's something that could be successful. It's definitely something I need to look in further. After seeing such a massive run up like this, I do expect that the stock will probably see a pullback over the next little bit. But given the opportunity of this particular company and the EV space as a whole, if they can kind of change how batteries are made, this could go beyond just electric vehicles. It could go into other industries and other, verticals as well. So I think there's a lot of potential here. This could easily be a 5, 10, 15, $20 billion company years down the line. So I don't know, hey, is it better to get in now? Is it better to get in later? Is this a quick play? What does this look like? This is something that I'm going to be researching. And if I decide to make an investment in this company, I will definitely let you guys know. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you staying all the way to the end. If you like this content, give me a thumbs up here in the video. Consider sharing it with a friend who might be interested in the EV space as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about money, stocks, and real estate. I talk about all that stuff here on the channel and have been talking about EV companies a lot lately, and I'd love for you to join along in the journey. With that said, I'll catch you in the next one.